Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. The usual thing, please subscribe if you haven't, and by all means when you do, please hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. Last time we were in the shop, I promised we would be back for Al's build, which is for the Born Free show coming up next weekend. So here I am at Sick Sycles in Mentone, California, and we're looking at Al's build. It's not done. He's feverishly working. We interrupted him and said, look, we promised the people that actually listen to us that we'd show them this thing. So Al, let's look at this. This is Al Korf from Sick Sycles.
What's up, everybody? So,
want to start at the front there and talk about this beautiful Sportster front brake?
Yep, we got the, if you want, I can give you a quick rundown here. We got the 21-inch, it's a Borani WM1 hoop, coarse polished aluminum, laced to, this is stock Sportster drum, you know, hamburger drum brake or whatever. And then it's in a set of narrow chopper trees. We got those at the swap meet. There's some old ones. I don't know who made them, but they're pretty cool.
I was noticing that lower tree, and I really liked it. The upper tree, I didn't get a good look at.
The upper tree is cool because it's got like the stock bushings off like a later Y-glide, which might help make it ride good. 6-over chrome tubes. I did add the Sportster eyebrow to kind of go with the Sportster theme. There's quite a bit of Sportster parts on the bike.
Well, I noticed you machined it off and made it real pretty.
Yeah, it's all, you can't see it at this height, but it's all filled in with weld and metal finish and stuff. And then the handlebars, my friend Reese Zylstra made those, and he, I hit him up. He's a handlebar guy, so he hooked me up.
I'd say he is.
One cool thing you probably can't see from here is their wartime, the heavy steel World War II era levers. And I got one flipped over to be the clutch and the other for the handbrake. Of course, I got them chromed, and then early throttle and all that stuff. So coming back, which to me is the best part of the whole bike, is the frame.
Let's start by saying, and it is a 46 knuckle.
But yeah, 1946 Knucklehead engine. But the frame, the frame is definitely worth talking about.
From the first time I saw it, this is a really attractive single down tube frame.
Yeah, so I came to my friend Sean at Bronsonville Choppers in Pomona, and I asked him, I had a pretty messed up Knucklehead frame, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in doing a trade? I have this idea. I have a rear section of a panhead frame. Could we custom make a front? I want a single down tube frame, but I want it tight, like right up on the motor. And Sean liked it, and he said, let's do it, man. So we went down there, and we kind of worked together, and it was cool. It was a cool process. I mean, he's an amazing fabricator and artist, and his shop is so cool. And I learned a lot. And
it's beautiful the way it's put together here.
It's 1 inch up, and the rake is 29.5 degrees, so it's fairly...
That's nice. Everybody always asks me those numbers.
Yeah.
And I don't divulge other people's numbers. They have to do
it's fairly stock dimensioned, only being 1 inch up. It doesn't make a whole huge difference, but I'm kind of a smaller guy, so I want to keep it kind of a tight package. I like kind of a race chopper, something I could really get on, but... With 6-over fork, the frame is just running uphill just enough. I think it looks bitchin'. It came out really nice. And then my painter, I mean, we can talk about that.
Yeah, that tank is gorgeous.
Kyle did a fantastic job. He painted the last bike, the green one. And,
right, I met him then.
Yeah, Kyle's awesome, dude. And so the frame was raw when I gave it to him, and he did the Bondo work on the frame. The
I
moulding.
love the way you matched on your belt cover.
Yeah. So the primary, check it out. It's just on here for the video. It's kind of loose right now, but I made the whole thing from scratch, like just out of pieces of aluminum. I just made my own primary, but it's got enough room for the whole clutch and transmission to slide back. There's a little, and right now it's all the way forward because it's not fully adjusted. But I made the outer plate to kind of match the tank. I just built all this up with weld.
It looks like a perfect match.
Really, the Sharpie came out good. So yeah, and then set it up with a mid control. So the shifter, the shifter comes right through the center. Oh, goes like that, So your shifter sitting right here. Let me grab it actually so you can see.
Mid controls.
Yeah. So that's the foot shift. The foot shift's made out of a stock Harley foot shift piece. That's steel that I chromed, and then the shifter is made out of aluminum and I just had it sunk in there. So try to use as many Harley parts as I can.
Sure.
It's all got stock linkage, and it's hidden, kind of tucked in behind the primary there, and then the basket's stock but chromed and drilled all out with all the little bad boy speed holes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, and I love the ratchet lid. I mean, it's beautiful.
The tank and fender, I use some. It's a stock Harley Hummer tank that I cut the tunnel out and you know, Frisco mounted it, you know, so it holds more gas.
Your ignition switch is gone.
Yeah, I filled that in because I didn't want to run that goofy thing. And then
I have one, and I think it's cool.
No, they are cool. They are cool. That's why I was just joking. But I took some round stock and laid the flames out with you know, welded them in, and then we built up the edge of the metal. Kyle built up the edge with it and sanded it all smooth, so it came out real
beautiful.
good. And then, yeah, he did some nice airbrushing work on there.
And the fender, too.
Yep, same the fender. And the fender, another cool part of the fender is the tail light. It's a, you know, it's like one of these. It's a, let me grab one. This is like a, off the wall. You know, this is the same light. That's a stock Sportster.
I was wondering what it was. So you narrowed one of those.
Yeah, I took a huge chunk out of the center and squished it in. And the lens, my buddy does casting, and I took the stock lens and the same thing. I cut it, glued it together, put it together.
And he made a mold off of that.
Made a mold off that and poured it, and we added the Sick Sycles logo right there.
That's
you know?
genius.
How cool.
That's the only thing I've never seen done with one of those tail
yeah,
lights.
you know, it's funny. Someone I know really closely has the exact same setup almost, and I had no idea. And he was like, "Oh, I did that on my bike." And we just went on his run. I'm sitting there staring at his bike and going, "Son of a gun!" I did the exact same thing. So you know.
I love the Sissy bar too.
Yeah, that was kind of cool how I made that. I took two pieces of flat and I laid them on top of each other, and then I just aluminum, since I got a lot of aluminum going on the bike, and I wanted to make something that kind of matched the spokes on the rear wheel, you know, so it had that kind of curve.
It blends
look.
right into the bike. I mean,
And then I just welded the two pieces together and then just grinded it until I got this kind of domed effect, and then just kind of just didn't really have a big plan on the Sissy bar. I knew I wanted a small one so I can hold my pack and
it's
something.
real different and it looks real good. I really like it.
You probably recognize these. They sold these license plates in the back of Easy Riders in like the 70s. Remember those ones?
Yeah.
I just got that at the swap, man. They're so bitchin'. I just had to run it and then come around here. Yeah, the back wheels. I
like your brackets for your oil tank.
Yeah,
the brackets for the oil tank are superb.
Yeah, thank you. That was pretty kind of fun to make. I probably made like 4 different versions of it before. It's this guy down in here. It's got hidden mounts. It bolts into the down tube for the seat post, you know, and then it catches the fender in the back, and then it catches the oil tank on the bottom, catches the oil tank on the top. You know?
No, it's great. It really is.
Came out pretty good.
I think it's grand.
We're working on the clutch right now. The clutch has got this really neat setup. If you want to get a view,
setup.
Yeah, it's the Rodan speed clutch. So they made these back in the 70s. So the cable goes straight in here and grabs that instead of a long clutch release arm on the other side. Kind of almost looks like a hydraulic clutch.
Well, it's actually the same way Harley did their later model stuff.
Right.
The idea of ramp balls and ramps. And that's the way it works.
Yeah. Pretty slick.
So when it turns, it spreads with the diameter of the balls, and that's a great deal. I
thought it was clean. I've met the guy that made those, you know, quite a few years ago, Tom. He had that shop Rodans in the 70s. And
I remember when they were running a flathead 80.
Oh,
they
yeah.
were running a flathead 80 at Bonneville.
Yeah, he's a...
I mean, that's going back in the Wayback Machine.
He's about your age, I think.
I think he's older.
No.
I mean,
no comment.
At that time, this was me looking up to this guy. I mean, I still look up to him.
Tom is a badass. He sold me pretty much my first chopper. I kind of credit him for part of my sickness, you know.
Yeah, it's his fault, huh?
Definitely.
Oh, and that big, beautiful old S&S.
Yeah. How do you think it's going to work? I don't know.
It's an awful lot of carburetor, but I've seen an awful lot of guys make them work really well.
Yeah. I've always wanted to run an L series, and this was like, at least for the show, I'll be running the L series. Let's put it that way. I don't know how much I'll love it on the highway. Well, maybe I'll love it. I don't know, but
I think it'd be great on the highway. Where it's a problem is around town.
That's what. Yeah. That's what I've been told.
That's, you know,
pretty polished up L series, polished magneto, and smooth cam cover, even though it's a 46, had an earlier style cam cover on it.
Yeah, the motor is just beautiful.
Made the brake pedal to match the shifter and kind of carry the theme to the bike.
Looks like you shortened up some Anderson pegs.
You know what? They look like that. I have some Anderson pegs floating around here. But what cool thing, my buddy made these. My buddy Jason Weber, he made these like a few years back.
Oh, okay.
That's his company, ATR. They're like little mini Anderson pegs.
Yeah.
So I've had a set for years. I got a couple sets, and I was just sitting on them. I finally.
Well, they look great.
Perfect for the bike, you know, a little.
Well, everything you've got
package.
everything closed down, tight package.
That was the idea, kind of a SoCal club type, sort of fast, sort of dangerous looking.
And the curves you put in this pipe are superb.
I couldn't have done the pipe without Machi. I mean, Machi. I mean, he helps me with anything I get stuck on,
yeah.
you know. So.
Well, Machi won Born Free last time.
He got best chopper last time, so he's gonna
Yes, he did.
He's gonna get best chopper again this time. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. We're getting close. I'm getting pretty excited. Hopefully you come back in a couple days and kickstart this thing.
Or you can come over for a cup of coffee and be on it, you know, and then maybe we'll take a ride in the mountains like you missed last weekend.
Please.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No comment.
Well, that brings up another thing I'd like to mention real quick. Born Free show in Santiago Canyon, California is next weekend. That's the 28th and 29th of August. I think Mike and I will be there on the 28th. I suppose Al will be camping out Saturday and Sunday.
For sure. I'll be there. We got a bunch of t-shirts and all kinds of merchandise we're going to be selling, some parts, and of course...
Well, we don't advertise on YouTube.
Oh, my bad.
Yes, you're bad. Okay, but anyway, we're going to be
Check
there.
my website.
And anybody that we get the opportunity to meet, we're looking forward to seeing. So I guess that's it for now. So until
Will this
then,
episode get on before Born Free? That's the question.
This?
Yes.
It'll be on tonight.
All right. So please, if you've seen the episode, come over and tell me what you think of the bike.
And until then,
yeah. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you out on the road.
Got it.